How's it? Welcome back. So I had someone reach out to me, wanted me to do a tutorial on my open awareness meditation approach. So you got it. Now, when it comes to open awareness, that is the style of meditation that I tend to do the most. However, that's mostly because it's part of my going to sleep process. So, I'll be lying in bed going to sleep at night, doing open awareness, but really I'm just doing it to kind of like pass the time as I start sinking down towards stage one of sleep and into it. Really just waiting for this hypnagogic imagery start to come up. And then once that starts to come up and really gets going, then I'll switch over from open awareness to hypnagogic meditation. And it just so happens that like these two styles of meditation tend to like link up together perfectly. So keep that in mind, because when we get to the more tutorial part of this video, I'm going to be coming at it from that perspective. However, when I am meditating in the daytime, most of the time there too, I will default to using open awareness as well, just because it's one of the styles of meditation that I'm like the most comfortable with. However, it was not always like that. So I'll share a couple exercises and things that I did that really helped me to get more comfortable with it when I was trying to, learn this whole practice and approach. So for starters, I'm going to start off with something that is like probably way different from what the vast majority of people would recommend here. But I do like to meditate reclined or even like lying down in my bed. Now, most people will say don't do that because it very drastically increases the likelihood of you just straight up falling asleep. But as I said, the way I'm coming at this is kind of the goal. You just don't want to fall asleep unconscious. You want to fall asleep still consciously aware. Plus, sitting up a lot of the time tends to hurt my back. If I'm doing like a really short meditation in the daytime, like a 5-minute thing or like a 10-minute thing or something like that, sometimes for that I will sit down, and oftentimes will be like in this chair right here. Or I also like to use this, it's like a ergonomic chair where you're kind of stuck in this kneeling position where your butt goes here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Your knees go here, no back support. So, you have to hold your own self up. So, a very good, more standard meditation position for that. But for this one, screw that. We'll be doing it lying down. And it's actually going to be crucially important for the approach that I'm coming with. So I do like to recline. And then something I did when I was really trying to just learn this practice in general, there's a really helpful sound meditation you can do to get you comfortable with this whole open awareness approach. So basically what you'll do for this is you want to sit somewhere where there's background noise and stuff going on. Close your eyes, and then you're just going to be listening for any sound that catches your attention. So say you hear like a dog barking off in the distance. Make a mental note of that. Okay, dog barking. Drop it and see what comes up next. And then it's very easy to drop, because assuming the dog doesn't just keep on barking, it's not even there to be paid attention to. So then you drop the whole dog thing. Maybe you hear a car beep. Okay, car beeping its horn. Make a note of that. Drop it. See what comes up next. And then even if you have a more steady, constant sound like my AC running, right? You make a mental note of that and then drop it. And you drop it by simply looking for the next sound that catches your attention. So it gives you really a lot of quick reps to get you used to noticing something and dropping it. Well, I guess I should say this too. I'm kind of just taking it for granted that people know the general basics of open awareness meditation. But to do this is you don't have a specific object of attention, right? You're not like trying to follow your breath, for example. You just want to simply notice these thoughts as they arise, right? And then make note of them, drop them, and then see what comes up next. So that is the whole open awareness thing, which is why this whole sound meditation thing can work really well with it. And then the next part here is, how do you know how to actually drop something? So this is a technique I stumbled into many years ago when I first started going to the float tanks and stuff like that, where I call it my play dead meditation, right? So what you want to be doing for this, you'll be kind of following your breath. But if you notice, once you get really calm and relaxed and your breath and your breathing is, as slow as it is without forcing it to be slow, there'll be this natural pause, like right after you fully exhale. There's a little pause there before you start to inhale again. And so what I try to do in that pause is I'll just completely play dead, turn off, and stop all thought, right? So that's, it can give you practice in dropping things too, right? And then this works great in a float tank, but can also work perfectly fine, reclining in your bed or something like that. If you put in earplugs, you can hear your heartbeat and kind of feel it. And so at the very bottom of your exhale, your heart rate slows down a bit. Then as you inhale, it speeds up a bit. So not only when I get to the bottom of the exhale and am I going to try to play dead, but I'll actually try to play dead like in between that heartbeat, just blank everything off. And then, works good at dropping stuff. And if you want to, you can kind of test this out. We're saying next time a bad thought or memory or something irritating from the past pops up into your head, or just do this on purpose. Bring up a thought that you don't like to think about or some memory that you despise. Bring it up purposefully and then practice dropping it and then see if you're able to do that. It's kind of like the whole, I mean, you really only have like two options, like that old don't think of an elephant thing, and then you're stuck thinking of that elephant, right? Where your only two options really is to pick something else to think about. So don't think of an elephant. Okay, think about football or basketball or something, or video games, right? You place it somewhere else, or you just learn how to drop it. And so this whole playing dead thing really helped me out a lot in learning how to drop these thoughts and feelings. And so for the, I guess for the approach, and I'm just going to restate everything here, but I'm going to recommend be lying down for this one. Why not just do it as you're trying to go to sleep at night, right? So get your bed set up, get everything all good so you won't be uncomfortable and having to shift around too much. Get your fans or AC and all that all good, right? Then lie down and start following your breath at first, and wait until your breath slows down to the point to where it's as slow as it can be without you forcing it to be slow. Then take note of the little pause that happens at the bottom of your exhale before you start to inhale. You can make this better by throwing in some earplugs so you can hear your heartbeat easier. And then at the very bottom of each exhale, try to turn off and play completely dead and drop everything. Then just keep repping that out until you get more calm. Then, as these thoughts start to come up and you're more used to dropping this stuff, instead of having to wait for the bottom of the exhale to drop everything, just simply drop them up, drop those thoughts and those images once they start to come, as they're coming up in the moment. And then once you start slipping down towards stage one of sleep and having these true hypnagogic imagery start to pop up, then don't switch over to following them yet and doing hypnagogic meditation. At this point, just keep letting them pop up, let the images arise, fall away until you find one that you like. Then when you find one that you like, then you can switch over to actually, paying attention to that, using that as your object of attention, playing around in that area. And then if you're lucky enough to go straight into REM after passing through stage one of sleep, you can try enter into it and have yourself a wild. And those are always super duper dope when they happen. Anyway, with that said, that'll wrap it up. Thanks for the question. And until the next video, keep your meditation practices legit.